Absolutely. So the general is, it's interesting that it is a set of shed antlers, right? It's not a deer that was ever taken that we know of. So that leaves a little bit of mystique about the deer. Could the deer have been killed? Was it a killable deer? Yep. So it's a white-tailed deer that was found in 1959 by Ben Barnhart. Ben Barnhart was a World War II veteran and a sailor. He grew up on the family farm, went away to war, came back on the family farm, and was out checking on. He drove a 1949 Chevrolet pickup, and he's cruising around on the farm looking for a lost cow. Gets out of the truck, walks over to this fence line, and sure enough, hanging in a willow bush is one of the antlers to the general. And he grabs it, finds the other one not laying far away, thinks they're deer, which don't mean a lot to him back in that day, but I think they were big enough he recognized that they were a little bit special. So he threw them in the back of the 49 Chevy, headed back to the barn, and threw them in the barn where they lived until the mid 1970s. So you go back and look at Nebraska in 1958. The shed antlers were found in 59. So the deer grew and wore the antlers in 1958. And at that time, if you go back to central Nebraska, and they had their first deer season for whitetail deer in 1958. When you go back and look at all the Outdoor Nebraska magazines online in the 50s, it's all quail and pheasants. So I feel like it's a time where deer were up and coming. They weren't maybe respected like they are today. And they certainly grew a lot bigger, maybe because there wasn't as much of them, or conditions were right, or they were, as the Outdoor Nebraska put it, the trophy hunters had plenty of potential in the central Nebraska unit because of an unshot herd, right? The deer herd had not been hunted. So we go back to a different era.